Weird guy shows up at my parents' house at 1 a.m. looking for me and using details of my life that were valid 20 years ago. This happened 3 nights ago and I am going crazy trying to figure it out. I just moved into a new apartment 1 month ago and I am still unpacking and settling in. I have been using my parents' address as my mailing address, who live a few towns over, 20 minutes away, all of my life. 3 nights ago my parents call me at 2 a.m. freaked out and proceed to tell me this story. Apparently at 1 a.m. someone starts banging on their front door and repeatedly ringing their doorbell. My stepdad walks downstairs and opens the door, leaving the front glass door closed and locked. There was a man standing outside, who looked to be in his 30s, with a black hoodie on with the hood pulled up around his face. He didn't have any distinguishing facial features, facial hair, or tattoos. The only thing my stepdad said was that he looked to be Hispanic. Neither my stepdad or my mother, who was watching the whole thing out a window, recognized the man. The man says, "I'm so sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for my full name." My stepdad plays dumb and says, "Who?" The man proceeds to state my full name again and says that my boyfriend is worried because I didn't come home that night. He claims to be a friend of my boyfriend and tells my stepdad that they are both out looking for me, worried because I didn't show up at home. I don't have a boyfriend. I live by myself with my 3 dogs and haven't been in a relationship in the past 5 to 6 months. Here's the weird part. My stepdad asked the guy what boyfriend he was talking about and the man tells him the name of the boyfriend I had when I was in 10th grade, nearly 20 years ago. My boyfriend in 10th grade has a very, very unique Italian name. I've never met anyone with a full name even close to his. He says my high school boyfriend's name a few more times to ensure my stepdad heard him and repeats that they are very worried about me. Is my stepdad sure I'm not inside? At this point my stepdad is weirded out and closes and locks the door in his face. The man does not leave. He lingers in front of my parents' house for the next 10 minutes, smoking cigarettes and talking on the phone. Finally, my parents calls the cops. About 5 minutes before the cops arrive, the man walks down to the dead end on their block and drives away in a silver car. Stepdad was unable to get the license plate. My parents file a police report and nothing else happens. After I hear this story I am going nuts over the weird details. How would someone know who I dated nearly 20 years ago, and what would the motive be of making up a story that included that weird detail about my past? I have not had contact with the 10th grade boyfriend in over a decade. Yesterday, I decide to message him on a Facebook to see if he has any insight. I tell him the whole story. He's just as confused as I am and claims to have no part in it. I am at a loss. I'm also really freaked out that some strange man is going through that much trouble at 1 a.m. to look for me. Any insights or ideas would be greatly appreciated. No, nothing else weird has happened since then. Update number 1. Wow, this really blew up. Thank you so much for all the kind words and precautions that I should take. I want to add something here that a few people commented that might shine some light on this mystery. First off, I am not in any legal trouble and have no reason to think someone would be suing me. God, I guess it's always in the realm of possibility that I'm being sued by someone, but I really don't think that's it. Like I previously commented, I had an expired registration ticket that I did not show up to court for, but I believe I got a letter in the mail just asking me to pay a really large fee, so I don't think that's related. I did take a personal loan out, took it out about 1.5 years ago. It wasn't for anything too crazy and I was really good with making payments on time until about 6 months ago when I had a medical issue. Currently, I am really behind on payments, but to my knowledge, I have not defaulted on the loan yet. What do you guys think? Related? I had absolutely no idea that this is a thing, or I would have included this detail to begin with. Update number 2. I have a list of a few things that I am going to look into tomorrow, based off my own thoughts and based off a ton of valuable feedback I got in here. Thank you. We'll post an update as soon as possible. Edit number 3. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to update. It's a super busy time at work. Unfortunately, there isn't much to report. I called the loan company. They claim to have nothing to do with it. All of my friends and family also noted that the 1 a.m. factor kind of rules that out anyway. Nothing else strange has happened at my parents'. I went there for the first time last night and kept a close eye out for anything. Didn't observe anything out of the norm, so this remains a mystery. I'll be sure to update if something else happens. 40-year-old man staying at my hostel is creeping me out. I'm a 23-year-old female staying in Paris at a hostel with 4 beds to a room. This man introduces himself. He tells me to take these vitamins he had. I kept saying no and he keeps pushing, and asks why I'm afraid to take them. I told him I don't need vitamins from him. Later that night he invites me to go out with him and tells me he'll show me a good time. He offers me a bottle of wine, which I decline. At about 10 he heads down to the bar and tells me he'll wait 1 hour for me come. I plan on going out that night, but not with him obviously. He comes up at 11 and asks me why I didn't come. I told him that I wasn't going out that night. After he left I got ready for the club and headed there. I had a great night and got home around 9 a.m. He was back in the room and was angry at me for going out without him. Literally, he was yelling at me. Immediately I go downstairs and request a room change. Lady asks to take a shower in my apartment. In 2015-16 I moved to Florida from California to go to college. I was around 18 at the time. I was staying in a small studio by myself, pretty far from my university but close enough to where my apartment was the hangout spot. To paint a picture of how it looked, it was in the shape of a rectangle, with only one window. So you walk in and it's the living area, then the kitchen, then the bathroom, with closets on the right side of the wall. One particular night, I had about 6 friends over at my apartment, so it was 4 guys and 3 girls total, including me. We were partaking in illegal activities, drinking and smoking, but we were all under 21, so when I got a knock at my door I thought it was a neighbor about to complain either about the smell or the noise. I checked the peephole and saw a lady, whom I instantly recognized as a panhandler that's always at the corner street of my apartment complex, so I opened the door and asked her if I could help her with anything. She had a towel over her shoulder and said, "Hi, I've been going around door to door, but everyone keeps turning me away. I was wondering if I could please just take a shower. I promise I don't want anything else, I just want to clean myself." Any sane person would have said no and told her to keep it moving, but I was a dumb 18-year-old empath that was high as balls and panicking in the moment. So I said yes, and I walked her into my bathroom, told her how to turn on the water and where the soap was, and walked out. The look of terror on my friends' faces was priceless. All at once they started asking why I had done that and if I realized how dangerous the situation could be. Was there someone waiting for her outside? Did she have a gun? Was she gonna rob us? One of them even went to the kitchen to grab all the knives and then hid them just in case she tried anything, and we were all so quiet, just anxiously waiting for her to finish showering. And when she was done and came out of the restroom, I walked her to the door. She said, "May God bless you," and I never saw her again, not even at the corner. You could say what I did was stupid, but I know good karma will come for me one day.
Okay guys, this is the end of the video. If you liked it, please consider subscribe and leave a comment down below. See you soon.